Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Today we're going to be playing some more of Vegas Tales. This is a FMV game for the PS5. Basically, we are hired by Mr. Davenport, who is dying of cancer and only has a week to live, to find an appropriate replacement to run his casino and resort that he owns. So basically, he's looking for a worthy candidate. He tasks us with interviewing potential clients. That's the point of this game. It's kind of blah. it's not really got too much action in it. It's mainly an interviewing game, but I enjoy these FMV games nonetheless. So yeah, Mr. Davenport, as you can no doubt tell, is played by Tim Russ, best known as Tuvok in Star Trek Voyager. Anyway, so we're gonna continue on where we left off yesterday when we live streamed this. I would have done it all in one go. Unfortunately, the game bugged out, so I wasn't able to finish it. So hopefully we won't encounter said bugs again, and we'll hop right back into this and finish off the interviews and hopefully finish off the game. Let's go.
I take 2 weeks vacation from my dental practice each year so we can go on a family trip.
It's safe to say our Las Vegas trips are our favorite. This is our 3rd year in a row coming here.
Next year, I'll be old enough to go to the casino floor.
Sarah won't be 21 until next month.
My father and grandfather were both dentists. All the men in my family were. Well, except for my brother Stephen. It's a family tradition.
Stephen is quite the rebel. He lives by his own rules.
He's a pediatrician in Salt Lake City. That's clear across the state from us.
He only comes to visit a few times a year, usually on holidays.
We do drive up to Salt Lake City once in a while. My friend Linda lives there too, so we get to visit her and Stephen in one trip. Linda was my best friend back in high school. She was a bit of a troublemaker back then. To be honest, I was a bit of a rascal myself.
It's true. Alice and Linda were big mischief makers. Now, it may seem hard to believe now, but Alice was quite the prankster in her teenage years.
How come I've never heard about this before?
Well, I am not very proud of some of the things I did, so I don't talk about them much.
Can you tell me about one of them? Please.
Okay. Every April Fool's Day, Linda and I would send someone a pizza they didn't order as a prank. We paid cash, so it couldn't be traced back to us. And we'd also tip the driver so they wouldn't get stiffed in the gratuity.
I hope none of those people were trying to lose weight. That could knock someone off their diet.
We were young and reckless. We didn't think about the consequences back then.
I understand. I certainly got into my fair share of trouble when I was younger.
Oh, do tell. Oh my god, I bet you were a right rascal.
I've caused as much trouble as anyone. I was once suspended from school for smoking. Another time I got detention for a whole week for cutting class. I'm no angel. I was walking to my next class when a kid I didn't know dropped a pack of cigarettes. I instinctively picked them up for him, but just as I did, a teacher happened to see me holding them and sent me to the principal's office. I couldn't say they weren't mine without telling on the other kids, so I got suspended.
It worked out for the best. The kid eventually felt bad that Sarah was taking the blame for him and told the principal what really happened. Then he later became Sarah's first boyfriend.
It's not what it sounds like. A couple of girls at school were playing a prank on this kid Tommy. He was really unpopular. They pretended he had a secret admirer and started passing him all these fake notes. They were just building up his hopes to crush them. Eventually, so many kids got in on the prank that nobody even knew where it started. I didn't want to see him get hurt, so I pretended I was the admirer and we dated for 2 months. He turned out to be a nice guy, but I was only 17 at the time and nowhere near ready for a boyfriend yet. I skipped study hall and snuck into the school gym. The principal caught me and I got a week's detention. It's really not a very interesting story.
Well, that's not the whole story, is it? You didn't mention why you went to the gym.
I was helping to set up a surprise party for the principal. His 25th anniversary at our school was coming up, so we had to do something for him. My study hall teacher knew and gave me permission to skip class, but I couldn't say that without ruining the surprise party. Still feel bad about lying to the principal.
Now, honey, lying is sometimes okay when it's to help the person you're lying to, like when we got you your glasses.
I know, Daddy, but it still feels wrong.
Sarah used to babysit a little girl named Emily. She really looked up to Sarah. She always said she wanted to be just like her when she grew up.
One day, Emily had to get glasses, and she looked really cute, but she hated how they looked. She was super self-conscious about it, and she couldn't even stand to go to school anymore.
That's when Sarah came to me and asked if I could get her vision checked. She figured if she wore glasses too, then Emily wouldn't feel so bad about them anymore.
Daddy took me to get tested, but unfortunately my vision was 20/20.
I've never seen somebody so disappointed to have good vision. That's when I took Sarah to the mall to get her a pair of fake glasses.
Daddy's the best. I started wearing them whenever I was around Emily, and it worked like a charm. She started liking her own glasses almost immediately.
Here's the thing. I don't like these kind of people because they come off as fake. They come off as very... I don't even know how to describe it. They just come off as very phony. And they're always happy. And always willing to do good. And they all dress the same. What the hell? Like, what is this blue color coordination? Oh, we're going for an interview, so we might as well dress all the same. Anyway, let's finish off with interviewing these guys before I puke, and then we'll go on to Becca and Todd. Todd looks very non-interesting in that photo. he looks very not interested in being interviewed. Anyway, let's hop back into this.
One thing you should never do is stiff a service worker. Tips are most of their income.
I'm ashamed to admit I am guilty of that myself. There was a time where I didn't know you were supposed to tip housekeepers when you stayed at a hotel. I'd been traveling for years before I realized it. I have no idea how many housekeepers I stiffed without realizing it.
A lot of people aren't sure when they're supposed to tip and when they aren't. It's a big problem.
Well, I don't use a smartphone myself, but I hear one of the big problems these days is people don't know they're supposed to tip app workers.
I thought everyone knew that one.
You're going to hell, sir. You did not tip a housekeeper. I'm sorry. You are going to hell. Like, that's it. There's no saving grace for you. You're just dead. You're going to hell. That's all that's going to happen. You're going to be rotting in hell.
We're a flip phone family.
I love flip phones. They're inexpensive, the battery lasts a full week, and they don't break when you drop them.
I like knowing Sarah has plenty of charge on her phone in case she needs a ride.
Well, you know, if I had a smartphone, I wouldn't have to bother you or Daddy when I need a ride. I could just use an app.
She's talking about those rideshare services. I just don't understand those. I mean, when I was growing up, we were taught never to talk to strangers on the internet and not to get into a car with a stranger. But now there's an app that literally lets you summon a stranger on the internet so you can get in their car. I don't understand why they're so popular.
I'm sure there's plenty of useful apps on those things, but everybody that I know that has a smartphone, they just text each other. I prefer having to call someone. It's more of a social interaction for me.
I do crocheting and knitting. I make clothes and blankets that I donate to local homeless shelters.
We used to just donate money, but there are just too many people in need. There's never enough money to go around, and winters get very cold in Utah.
And since we're able to buy fabric in bulk, we're able to donate 5 or 6 times as many supplies as we could otherwise.
The hats she makes are really nice, too. They're so much more comfortable than anything you can buy at a store.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
A few years ago, we heard that Las Vegas had undergone some changes and was very family-friendly now. Once we heard that, we just had to come check it out.
And we were not disappointed. There's a lot more to do here than just gambling and attending wild rock concerts. There's an aquarium, a history museum, and gondola rides.
We even found a soup kitchen that lets us volunteer every time we come here.
We do participate in some of the wilder activities, too. Last year, we toured the Pinball Hall of Fame. I figured we are in Vegas after all. We might as well get a little crazy while we're here.
Oh my god, you're so wild. The Pinball Hall of Fame, really? Oh, fucking hell. I thought the prostitutes were bad, but Pinball Hall of Fame! Oh, Lord. Oh, you're a rebel, sir.
None of us gamble, but I don't understand why it has such a bad reputation.
I've never gambled before, but I do want to try it when I turn 21 next year.
I've tried it. Gambling isn't really for me, but it seems like an innocent enough pastime.
We've never been to a rock concert. We really should go sometime, though.
Walter wasn't the biggest fan of rock music for the longest time, but it was Sarah that convinced him to give it a try.
All the rock music I heard growing up just seemed so edgy. I figured it wasn't for me.
Daddy just hadn't listened to the right bands.
That's true, because I wasn't the biggest fan of rock music either, when all I ever heard were wild groups like the Beatles and Billy Joel. If Sarah hadn't shown me that there were less rowdy bands out there, I'd probably still be missing out.
It is amazing how much Sarah's changed our lives.
The Beatles are rowdy to you? Wow. Yeah, I have no words for that one. They're the least rowdy. You guys are just so you might as well, do you live under a blue rock? Probably a blue rock. Yes. A blue or multicolored rock that you just come out occasionally during the day and just function in society.
We all love doing charity work, but to be honest, Alice and I don't find nearly as much time as we should. Sarah, on the other hand, always finds the time.
She volunteers every week at an assisted living facility, a food bank, and an animal shelter. I wish I had her youthful energy.
Thank you. They're just being modest. They both do plenty.
When I was younger, I did what I could. Now all I really do is make the occasional donation.
What about when we went to the beach last summer?
That's true. We spent the day cleaning the beach, and we had a contest among ourselves to see who could collect the most trash bags worth of litter.
Daddy won by a full bag.
It doesn't matter who fills the most bags. What matters is doing our part for the environment.
Every piece of litter you pick up off the beach is one less piece that'll make it into the ocean. That's what Daddy always says. I love volunteering there.
Some of Sarah's best friends are residents there.
She's talking about Harold and Eleanor. I've learned so much from them.
They love having her there, too. They tell me all the time.
Walter and I thought we did our fair share of volunteering, but Sarah puts us to shame.
It really shouldn't count as work if it's fun to do. Eleanor was a phone operator for most of her life. From what she says, there was a time when operators had to manually make phone calls go through. I can't even wrap my head around that.
I've known Eleanor for years. She organized the town's first bake sale, and she always had the best Christmas decorations every year when I was growing up.
Our town gets very into Christmas lights. Walking around and looking at all the decorated houses, it's a tradition for us.
I prefer driving around. It's a lot warmer.
Can't disagree with that. Sarah and I don't like the cold weather as much as Walter does.
Oh, I've always loved the winter. Playing outside in the snow is one of my favorite things growing up. I've made more than my fair share of snowmen.
I'm more of a summer girl.
Me too. Harold is the friendliest person you'll ever meet. He can go on for hours about the past.
He used to own the hardware store in town when I was a kid. They had a toy section that was only a few feet wide, but it felt like a full toy store to us kids.
The way you're going on about the past makes you sound a little like Harold.
Well, I don't think I'm quite the storyteller Harold is. He really likes to go into detail.
That's true. He once told me a story about toilet paper that lasted for 20 minutes. It was a good story.
We've all heard that one. Harold likes to go on and on about how toilet paper rolls have gotten smaller and smaller over the years. So now you have to buy a 12-pack of toilet paper just to get the same amount of toilet paper that used to come in a 4-pack.
He has a point. If they still made them like they used to, my grocery trips would be a lot easier.
I've been helping out at the shelter for over a year now. I love working with the animals.
We used to be part of the neighborhood pet patrol.
Whenever anyone in our town lost a pet, we'd post flyers and work the phones until that family had their missing member back.
I miss doing that.
We used to be part of the pet patrol, but it's handled online now. I hear it's very efficient, but we don't have the internet in our house, so we're not part of it anymore.
How do you not have the internet? What? Okay.
I know people who have internet in their homes, and it does seem pretty useful, but there is a lot of bad stuff online.
I've been online, and there's a lot of good stuff on there, too.
I'm sure it has its uses. It's just too easy to stumble across unpleasant language or other bad things. I just don't want it in my home.
Walter's dental practice does have its own website. People can book appointments online.
My secretary Janet runs the site for me. We have internet at the office, and she is great at using it. She spends some of her downtime on a website called the TikTok.
Oh, I've never heard of that one. What is it for?
Honestly, I have no idea. Janet has showed it to me multiple times, and I just can't wrap my head around it.
The TikTok is... It's clearly a website for clock porn. That's what it is. You go there and you see all the clocks in their porn nakedness. Oh baby, come on over to the TikTok and see all your clocks sensuously naked. Yeah, okay. This guy's an idiot. Alright. I think we've established this family is pretty nuts.
I've known Janet for years. She's in my book club.
I play golf with her husband Frank. They're good people.
Frank and Janet invited us up to their fishing cabin this weekend, but we had to turn them down.
We didn't want to be rude by declining, but fishing really isn't our cup of tea.
I just don't see how snatching another life form from their home could be fun. What did those poor fishies ever do to us?
Walter likes the winter, but you will not catch me outside if there's snow on the ground.
We've never helped Daddy shovel snow once. We just stay inside with the heat cranked up.
Believe me, they more than make up for it in the summertime. I can't remember the last time I watered the lawn.
We do love finding excuses to work outside during the summer.
I'm starting a charity car wash. I already have a bunch of other girls signed up. We're starting on Memorial Day.
I love the car wash idea. There are always plenty of worthy charities that need the money.
Plus, it's a lot of fun. It's like getting to go to a water park for free. I love water parks. One of my favorite things about living in Utah is that we have so many of them.
I'm a bit of a water slide enthusiast myself.
I'm not really into the water slides. My favorite part is the lazy river.
I think Sarah's favorite part is all the attention she gets from boys when she gets to wear her bathing suit.
That's nice too, but I've always loved water parks. My parents used to take me all the time when I was growing up.
My favorite ride is the one where you have to cross a bunch of lily pads while holding on to the rope.
Walter always makes it across, though. That defeats the purpose. You're supposed to fall in. What's the point of going to a water park if you're not going to get wet?
I like the challenge. It's hard to get across. Plus, my feet get wet.
I don't think he gets it. My mom and dad live just a few blocks away from us, so I get to see them all the time.
Oh, did you think Sarah was our daughter? We get that a lot.
I just don't understand why so many people think we're related. I don't see the resemblance.
Yeah, Sarah and I aren't related, but we are married to the same daddy.
We met Sarah when she was 18 and fell in love right away. She became my second wife 6 months
Okay.
Well, I could never live up to his first wife, though. Alice is amazing.
Oh, Sarah's just being modest. She is an incredible wife.
She's a crackerjack in the bedroom as well.
Oh my
That's just because I
god.
had such a great teacher.
Oh, well, Sarah's the real teacher. Did you know that you could use your feet in the bedroom? We had never heard of such a thing, but Sarah showed us, and now, by golly, Walter can't get enough of it.
And don't forget the thing you do that Alice likes. I have no idea how she comes up with these things.
Well, I didn't invent them. I learned them on the internet.
Well, the internet doesn't seem that bad. Maybe we should think about getting a computer.
Can we, Daddy, please?
Okay, that just went very strange very quickly. Okay, so they're not a family, they're spinsters, basically. Okay. Let's go back and report that to Mr. Davenport. Sarah isn't Walter's daughter. She's his wife. So is Alice.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Joseph Austin. How are you doing today? I remember you from Conversations with Curtis.
Well, I did not see that coming. I mean, I only considered Sarah because, well, she seemed like such a sweet, wholesome girl. I had no idea she was married to an older man who already had a wife. I don't know what to think about that.
Person raising hand, yes, I am well.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. We're just playing some FMV game called Vegas Tales. It's not really all that enjoyable. There's no action in it, but I mean, I like it. Basically, we're interviewing potential clients for Mr. Davenport, played by Tim Russ from Star Trek Voyager. Basically, we're interviewing people to take over the casino for him because he only has a week to live. He's got cancer, and he's dying, and he wants us to interview a potential client and find who would be best suitable to take over the casino when he passes. So that's what's going on in this. We're going to be continuing on with our final victims, to interview and find out a bit about themselves and if they're worthy of running a Las Vegas casino and resort.
My name is Becca.
And I'm Todd.
We're from New York City. This is where Todd said we had to stay when we came to Vegas.
Yeah, we're in town for our wedding.
We actually ran into the owner of the hotel while we were checking in, and he overheard us saying we were getting married, so he upgraded us to a big suite, which was such a nice surprise.
And he was even more surprised when he asked if we wanted to be interviewed for your book. I mean, this is certainly turning out to be a memorable trip.
I would hope it'd already be memorable, what with our wedding and all.
Oh, of course. That was a poor choice of words on my part.
Okay, so they are under the okay, so when you first come out and introduce yours,
I have a strange love for most FMV games with or without action. Some are better than others, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. I've streamed a lot of FMV games on my channel, but I kind of stream a lot of everything on my channel. But yeah, I've covered Phantaz 1 and 2, The Beast Within. I've done a whole bunch of really modern FMV games as well. You can find them all on my playlist section. Just look under FMV games and you'll find all of the FMV games I've live streamed in that section on the playlist section. Anyway, so just to clarify something here, they're under the impression that I'm interviewing.
I love contradiction.
I don't remember if I streamed Contradiction. I do own it, and I also own The Gentleman's sequel.
It was so delightfully cheesy.
It was. I don't like... here's the thing with Contradiction. I didn't like some of the acting in it. Specifically, the gentleman who you played. I've never much cared for him. He's in a lot of FMV games, particularly ones on PS4 and PS5. I think he works for Wales Interactive, and so he's heavily involved in FMV games and has starred in multiple ones. But he always comes off as cheesy in his acting, I find, and so I'm not too keen on him. But I do like the gentleman who made Contradiction. He made another game. I can't recall the name of it off the top of my head, but it is a first-person FMV game, very revolutionary, very interactive, and you end up in this hotel, and the hotel owner is stalking you throughout the hotel and trying to kill you. It had a weird name, but it's really good. I've seen a lot of YouTubers live stream it. I own it, but I've seen a lot of YouTubers live stream it, and they always get a real kick out of it. It's definitely a revolutionary FMV game because it's all filmed, and you have free roam of where you go in the hotel. It's all first person, and it's not like it's not like Myst or anything like that. It's totally free roam. It's with Myst, it was very limited to where you could walk and everything like that, whereas this game wasn't.
A Las Vegas wedding was her idea. I told her we could get married anywhere that she wanted.
Vegas seemed perfect.
I need to find this. Also sorry, it's hard with the delay not to interrupt you with my responses.
He actually made a list of all the clubs he wants to see before we leave.
It was just a list of places. There's one club on the list, but it's places that I want to see from the outside.
Todd grew up in a very religious household, so he can be a little embarrassed about these things. It's okay, sweetie. I've seen your list. It's perfectly normal for a man to want to see naked ladies.
Wow, she is definitely not subtle at all. And that's okay, dude. I'm used to that. YouTube sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather stream on Twitch, but I'm not a big fan of Twitch. I don't like how they remove your videos after a certain amount of time. I want my videos to be forever on my channel until I choose to delete them. Anyway, so that's why I stream on YouTube. That's why I prefer YouTube as my main choice for live streaming. But yeah, no, that's cool. I understand. YouTube has a lot of delay between. There's always been a bit of a delay on YouTube, where everything just kind of, well, it's delayed. And I understand that. I get a lot of normally I get a lot of people in my chat, and they're all kind of talking at once, and that's fine.
Saying I don't intend to cut you off.
Oh no, don't worry about that, dude. I don't mind that you cut me off. I'm pretty easygoing, dude. You're cool. Let's find out about New York City.
Oh, I mean, I love New York. We have the best sports teams, the best nightclubs, the best restaurants. It's such an incredible place to live.
Even if I didn't have to live there for work, I don't think I could ever move.
Yeah, I mean, there are just so many things you can only get in New York you can't get anywhere else. You should really visit if you haven't been before.
There's this brony convention Todd goes to every year. I mean, even if he moved back every year, he no way he could miss it. It's all he talks about for a month.
That's funny. He's a brony. That's funny that they put that in the game.
Oh my god.
Right? That's funny. All right, let's find out about the brony convention. Like I don't know about that.
It's a convention for My Little Pony fans.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds.
I mean, lots of adults go. Actually, it's almost entirely adults who go. I think the TV show is super sweet, but I've only been with Todd once. They don't really like girls going. I think it kind of messes with the whole bro part of brony.
He looks so awkward. He looks so awkwarded out. He's like, uh... did I lose my chances being in your quote book? Anyway, that's funny.
I wanted to get married in a church back home, but Becca wanted to do something original. Isn't that right, dear?
Yet we also couldn't afford a big wedding. You know, Todd's work has been a little slow lately.
I'm an actor, and all actors have dry spells. Just part of the industry. Plus, Becca has a lot of debt, so we probably shouldn't be spending too much money right now.
Right now, he's actually playing Elmo in Times Square.
That's hilarious that they threw the pony stuff in. Ironic since I came in here with a Sweetie Belle avatar icon.
Red creature, but we all know who he's
Yeah, I know. That's kind of why I was laughing. But it is cool because it feels more modernized when they put that kind of stuff into FMV games. It feels more symbolic of the times when they add those kind of elements into any kind of game, really. There's actually some FMV games that I have that take place during COVID lockdown. They actually made an FMV game, and the FMV game takes place during COVID lockdown, which is kind of funny. I was generally playing games to escape COVID lockdown, and then I go into these FMV games, and they take place during COVID lockdown, and I'm like, well, you just can't take a break. You just can't get a break.
I think street performer is more of an appropriate term. He's never done any sort of stage acting.
But I do have some exciting things lined up, actually. I'm going to be in an upcoming film in New York.
It's a role in an unpaid student film, but it's a great start.
It's a very promising student film. It's going to be seen by a lot of people, and the exposure is worth more than the money, believe me.
It's a film about campus safety. They say that new students are going to see it for years to come. I just wish Todd had booked a speaking part. He has the talent.
Oh, well, thank you, dear. Thank you.
I don't like her. She's constantly trying to degrade him, it seems. It's like he talks about stuff and then she's like, well, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Wow, she just shoots him down.
Yeah, she does. She totally shoots him down constantly.
Whip, whip, whip.
Wow. That's crazy. No wonder he looks so miserable in that photo.
Oh, I'm not a student. I just responded to an ad on the internet.
He actually dropped out of high school.
I wanted to focus on my career. Yeah, I was actually working for a cell phone company at the time, and it was a great job. I was making good money, and I wanted to move up, but they downsized, and a lot of us lost our jobs.
They laid off all the sign spinners at once, which was such a shame because Todd was so talented at it.
Oh,
We actually met when he was sign spinning on the corner at my apartment. He caught my eye right away. So I just moved out of my parents' house into my parents' apartment building, and I didn't really know my way around the area. So I was running late for a meeting, and when I went outside, I saw Todd spinning his little arrow sign on the corner. So I went up to him and asked for directions, and instead of just telling me where to go, he spun his sign all impressively and pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
That was like the cutest thing.
Oh, well, she came back after a meeting and she asked for my number, and we went on our first date the next day, and I knew she was the one after our first date.
Mm-hmm. I knew it after the third.
Oh, did you?
Oh, fucking hell. I'm sorry. What is this relationship? This is like...
LOL.
Oh, this is painful.
We streamed The Notebook at my place. All my past boyfriends had refused to watch it with me. Todd not only agreed, but he cried multiple times while watching it. I knew right then if he ever proposed to me, I'd have to say yes.
Oh, there were a lot of them. Am I right?
They were all so full of themselves. They were either rich or famous, or both rich and famous. The worst combination. That doesn't impress me.
They weren't as great as they sound. Okay.
No, some
They're
are actually
totally
very
going to
cool.
last as a
But I
couple.
don't really talk
Nothing
to them
ever will
anymore.
go wrong for
Todd
them.
gets a little jealous. But Todd hangs out with all of his
Right.
ex-girlfriends, except Lily, of course. But, I'm not really worried about them. If he's not sleeping with me, he's definitely not sleeping with them, so.
Oh, Lily, she was just the worst. I wasted 6 months of my life dating her, and that is all that needs to be said.
She used to physically abuse Todd. I'm so proud of him for breaking up with her. Even more for talking about it.
It's not really what she makes it sound like. She doesn't know the whole picture.
I mean, Todd could have easily defended himself. But the thing about Todd is he would never hit a woman. Ever.
Well, no real man ever would.
Especially Lily. I mean, I don't think I could hit a 95-pound elderly woman either.
Yeah.
What is going on? What? Hold on. He dated a night. I have way more many. I have so many questions that aren't even listed here.
Okay, this game has some great writing, I gotta admit.
Yeah, it does. It does. All the modern FMV games, they're very different compared to the classic stuff. I mean, they're very high budgeted now, and they hire very big name talent for the most part. So they're new FMV games are a lot better. They've come a long way.
I used to date this famous singer. I'm not going to name drop because that's gauche, but you definitely know who he is.
A lot of women have been with musicians, and to be honest with you, we all know that musicians are not one-woman men.
It was actually pretty serious between us. I mean, he asked me to move in with him. I met his parents. It was kind of the real deal.
Oh, well, I guess he was a good one, but I feel bad for her because he broke up with her.
Actually, I never told Todd this, but I was still with the singer when I met him. I didn't break up with the singer until we became official. It's crazy to think, if I hadn't met Todd when I did, I totally could have been married to the wrong person right now.
So, you cheated on him with me?
That's why I never told you this.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow. I don't really have any words right now. Proposed. Yeah, let's go for proposed.
Todd's proposal was the most unique one I ever had.
How many people have proposed to you before me?
You were the fourth. I've told you this. Oh, the first guy was at the Eiffel Tower. Ugh, so cliche. Second guy did the whole, wedding ring at the bottom of a champagne flute at the 5-star restaurant on Valentine's Day. We've all seen it.
Yeah, these guys have no originality.
The third guy was the worst. He had the proposal up on the Jumbotron at a basketball game. Like, how was that supposed to impress me? He literally owned the basketball team. He could make it say anything he wanted. It's just, that sort of stuff, it doesn't go far with me.
Yeah, and I guess I'm just the lucky one. What's the next question?
Okay, so Todd was helping me lose weight at the time.
She asked me to help.
And, I'd asked this of other boyfriends before, and they always dismissed me. They were like, "Hun, you're perfect as you are." And I was like, I don't want you dismissing me. If something's important to me, I want my boyfriend to take it seriously,
Again,
too.
I was just trying to help. That's all I was.
Oh, he did more than that. He tracked my weight loss. He kept a log of everything I was eating. I mean, it was like having my own personal trainer at home.
Yeah, it was, she laid out everything she wanted me to do, and I just did what she asked me to.
And there was like this stubborn last few pounds I just could not seem to get off no matter what. So Todd told me he would marry me if I hit my target weight. And that was all the incentive I needed. I shed those last 3 pounds. Stat. I lost it so fast he didn't even have time to save up for the ring.
Well, I thought I was going to have more time.
I literally just didn't eat for 4 days. It was all the motivation I needed.
This is like the most awkward couple I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't think they even care about each other. I feel like they're just acting. I feel like they're pretending that they're a couple at this point.
We just decided to skip the whole engagement ring thing and the wedding band thing. It's such an outdated concept. Plus, Todd thinks it's a waste of money.
Well, engagement rings are a scam. There's a great Adam Ruins Everything video about that, actually.
Yeah, plus I deal with a lot of high-profile clients at work, so if I had a ring, it would have to be huge, something that Todd couldn't afford, really. I know that sounds shallow, but, people really do judge you for the clarity and size of your diamonds, so it's best I just don't have one at all. Our firm represents a number of well-known clientele. I'm not really at liberty to name names, but there's a few athletes and politicians who you might have heard of.
I was actually an athlete. I was the star player on my high school football team. And I would have gone pro. Everyone would know my name, but I had a knee injury, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at him. He would have totally made the NFL had it not been for the injury. I mean, once he kicked a 20-yard field goal in a high school game, that is extremely unheard of, from what I understand. I almost went pro in gymnastics, but that didn't work out for me either. When I was very little, I trained under the famous Italian gymnastics coach, Sergio Endolini. My parents were convinced I was going to make it to the Olympics. I had the leotards.
Stop.
And
That's enough. Sergio Endolini isn't a real person, all right? We're not married.
Oh,
The
snap!
only reason I said we were married is because I wanted to get a free room upgrade at the hotel.
as
Wow.
always, cheapskate.
Well, as you can tell, she is a hooker.
Okay, I'm not a hooker. I am a sex worker.
Oh,
And we didn't even have sex because you were busy crying the whole time.
Not
so-
true, not true, not true.
No, it is kind of true. The only reason I'm still sitting next to this person is because I wanted to be paid for this book, so. And now you've ruined it, so thank you.
I ruined it.
Yeah, you
You're
did.
the one who made me look like a complete loser.
Oh well, here we go.
You know what?
Now
I
it
don't
all
even...
makes sense.
I'm sorry for wasting your time. Goodbye.
Can I still get paid?
Oh, wow. Well, we've interviewed everybody now. I guess
That
it's
was
time.
amazing.
Yeah. I guess it's time now to go back to Tim Russ and one second. My controller on my PS5 died. So just grabbing my other one. All right, here we go. All right, so Becca and Todd aren't on their honeymoon. They lied to get a room upgrade.
Well, that's disappointing. I guess there's no reason to consider them as potential heirs anymore. Well, all 4 candidates have potential problems, but someone has to take over the hotel. I don't have any more potential heirs, and I've run out of time to keep searching. Now, you've spoken to all of them. Who do you recommend?
All right, so in my original playthrough that wasn't
Gotta
streamed.
admit, that sex worker was a skilled story spinner. She had lots of details.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. So in my first playthrough that I didn't stream, I left it to Sarah Goodley, who was that the previous the family of 3 that were all dressed in blue. I left it to her because I felt like she was the most well-established, well-rounded character out of all of them, and I think that's what the game is kind of pushing you towards. They want you to go with Sarah Goodley because just her personality and the fact that she helps charities and stuff like that. Never mind the fact that she's 25 years old and dating a 50-year-old man who's got another wife. That's just weird, but to each their own. But my yeah, so everybody has their problems. So Ashley, who we saw in the last playthrough, part 1 of this live stream, she is a magician who feels like once she's done with her magic act, she's going to leave Las Vegas and never return. So technically, she is not a good client. Now, we could technically go for...
It would be kind of funny if you gave it to Becca and Todd.
Do you want me to try that? I'll do that. I'll give it to Becca and Todd, see what happens. Mallory is going to be dead in a week. You find out that she has a brain tumor, so she is not even in the picture. So it doesn't make any sense to leave it to Mallory because she is literally going to be dead in a week. Ashley wants to leave Las Vegas. Sarah Goodley is the most appropriate choice, and then Becca and Todd, who we just saw. Leave it to a hooker. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's leave it to a hooker. Let's see what happens. Maybe the hotel and casino will end up in flames or something.
Well, if they're not really getting married or spending their honeymoon here, then every reason I had for considering them is invalid.
I can lie to him? They are engaged, they're still getting married, just not this weekend. They also just learned that Becca is pregnant. Wow, that's not, no. I don't want to lie to Tuvok. Come on. The other options are all worse. I mean, yeah, let's do that one.
Well, if they're simply the lesser of 4 evils, then I don't see the point. I need a better option.
Hi.
Oh. Hey, Eevee Hero! You missed the playthrough. I'm almost done it now. You should leave it to Becca and Todd. Let's go back to that and, I guess, lie to him, maybe.
Well, if they're not really getting married or spending their honeymoon here, then every reason I had for considering them is invalid. Well, that's wonderful. Well, they may not be spending their honeymoon here, but if this is the place where they got engaged, and where they found out that they were having a child, then the Bellflower may hold a special place in their hearts. I think that they might be the right choice to take over the hotel. No, wait.
You got it to work, GG.
I think there's a creative way to make sure that the Bellflower stays in good hands for a long time. I can leave the hotel to their child to make sure that it's guaranteed to stay in their family. I'll call my lawyer right now and have him get the paperwork ready. Can you call Becca and Todd and have them meet with you again tonight so you can deliver the good news?
Uh-oh.
The trophy is literally why. Just why. That's literally the name of the trophy. So even the game developers are like, why the fuck did you pick them? Oh, that's funny. Oh. Out of all the people to pick, we pick a prostitute and her client.
I'm a little confused why you asked us here.
Yeah, do you still want to write about us in your book?
There is no book. Mr. Davenport is dying. He asked me to interview select people. He was considering leaving this whole resort to in his will. The book was just a cover.
We might have gotten this entire resort if you didn't ruin it.
If I didn't... You were the one who kept making up all those awful things about me.
'Cause you're awful.
Oh my god.
Mr. Davenport is leaving the resort to you with a small catch. You have to get pregnant!
You have to have a child. Better start adopting.
You're lying. There's no reason for him to leave anything to us, let alone...
This is going to be good.
Messing with us. This is his revenge for us lying to him before.
Well, if you look at the legal documents before you, you'll see that I'm quite serious.
Why would he leave it to us?
Didn't you tell him that we aren't really getting married?
Wow, this is turning into a shit show! Ha! And I lied to Mr. Davenport. So they lied to me, and I lied to Mr. Davenport. So this is working out freaking fantastic.
I told him Becca's pregnant. He's leaving the resort to your firstborn child. You can manage the estate on behalf of your child until they're of legal age.
Fraud, LOL.
Yeah, right?
So long as you're married. During that time, you're welcome to use the profits as you see fit.
Oh my god, don't tell them that! You're welcome to use the profits as you see fit? Why would you say that? That resort is going to end... The resort and casino is going to end up bankrupt within a week. Why would you tell them they can use the profits as they see fit? What logic is that?
Becca's not pregnant.
Stop trying to ruin this. If we get married but never have a kid, we can keep the resort for ourselves. Think.
This is getting even worse. This is... Okay.
Not quite. You don't inherit the resort. Your firstborn does. You don't take possession until you've married and have your first child.
So basically, we're telling you, fuck now, get pregnant, and you'll get the resort.
So we have to get married and have a child together.
Why would you tell him that I'm pregnant? God, why wouldn't you tell him the truth?
What? No! No! Are you blind? What? The two of you are clearly in love. You may not see it, but I do? No, I do not see it. Where's the other option? What? They're not... Oh. This resort is not going to last. I'm sorry. Under their ownership, give it a week, it'll be in the papers. Resort catches on fire, everybody dies.
Where they get off telling you to tell the truth, lol.
No, we're not. We are absolutely not.
You're the one trying to ruin this. Stop it.
Okay, you're gonna be crazy if you think that I'm gonna have a kid with you. Mm-mm.
I mean, the resort brings in $2 million per month in revenue. It's up to you. But, $2 million per month. Just pointing that out there.
Our kid would be filthy rich.
Stop talking.
I'm just saying.
Stop
Think about
talking
it.
and find us one of those Las Vegas wedding chapels.
Yes!
Okay, I'm gonna find a doctor to handle the insemination.
Well, there's a much easier way. Much easier way to do that.
Do you want to be rich or not?
I'm just saying we're not rich yet. Why don't we just do this the easy way?
You handle your thing, go find the wedding chapel, no Elvis. I'm gonna find a lawyer to look over this to make sure it's not some sort of sick prank.
Okay, and then about getting pregnant?
We will talk about that later, okay?
Sounds like a yes to me.
Becca and Todd get married the next day. After consulting a lawyer, they decided to adopt a child so they could satisfy the conditions of the will without the need to procreate. Wow. Okay! Well, that was that. That is probably one of the worst couples to give the resort and casino to. I still don't see it
What makes you interested in adoption?
Holy shit, the protagonist is going to hell.
Men have to be parents, isn't that right?
We would love to adopt a terminally ill child if
What?
you have any.
That's and unusual.
I would have picked the family over them, but that's just me.
We also inherited a very large resort and casino with the clause that we have to have a child in order to get it.
What are you
telling me the only reason you
doing?
want to adopt a child is so you can inherit this hotel?
Oh my
You realize I have to do what's
fucking...
in the best interest of the child, right?
And a child will have a wonderful life here at the casino.
I mean, I would have died to be a filthy rich child.
Careful.
Right. I can take them to Disney World every day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this does not seem like a healthy environment for a child to grow up in.
We can give you $250,000.
I have no words right now. I have no... They literally said, do you have any terminally ill children that we can adopt? Are you fucking kidding me? Why would you even say that? Why would you go to an adoption process? And immediately those are your first words out of your mouth. And then your second words out of your mouth is, we're just doing this so that we can own a resort and casino.
That was a beautiful story.
Joseph, it's your fault. You told me to go for them. You told me to go for them. Eevee Hero, I did in my non-live stream playthrough. I did go for the family because they were the most suitable. And yes, it was a happy ending. She basically turned one of the
Regret nothing.
You regret nothing. Yeah, it was pretty funny. So in the offline playthrough that I did, Eevee Hero, I did pick that family, and their ending was really good. So basically, the daughter ends up turning a room of the hotel into a room to help the homeless with learning how to read and stuff like that. So their ending is the most positive, I guess. That ending was just the funniest. Now I'm curious about the other two endings. I might have to try those at some point. But that was definitely one of the best endings. I still can't believe, why would you go to an adoption process and the first two fucking words out of your mouth are, hey, do you have any eternally sick kids that we can adopt? You know, ones that aren't going to last very long? Ones that are going to be dead within a week? And then the next question out of your mouth is, or the next comment out of your mouth is, "Oh, we're doing this because we're inheriting a casino, and that's one of the stipulations." Wow. How do these people function in society? Why would you even think about doing that? Why would you think that, oh, these two words that I'm saying, these two sentences that I'm saying out of my mouth are perfect to get a child adopted?
Well, they're not the brightest two people.
Well, no, I mean, it's a prostitute in her latest bang, so yeah. I'm still trying to process this. This was something. Alrighty, so.
What about the whole bribery?
Yeah, right. All of it is just. Yeah, the bribery was the worst part. Yeah, no, the bribery was the worst part. Oh, $500,000. I mean, there's $500,000 in it for you, and then it just cuts to black screen. It's like, well, we're not gonna show the outcome of that. He probably accepted the $500,000 because society is all about getting rich the quickest you can. Anyway, thank you very much to Joseph Austin for joining the live stream today, and to Eevee Hero. Greatly appreciated. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. I cover PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, and VR games. If any of that interests you, please consider liking and subscribing. Over on my YouTube channel, you'll find a playlist section devoted to all of my previous live streams. Say as an example you missed the first part of Vegas Tales. Simply go over to my playlist section, look up Vegas Tales, and you'll find the previous live stream in there. You'll also find in my playlist section a joint collaboration section. This is a section where I've worked with other YouTubers. You can find their videos in that section. If you like what you see in those videos, consider liking and subscribing to those YouTubers as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for me for now. I will be back later tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go into the second part of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on the PlayStation 5. We're going to be going into the second part of The Last Jedi. So that'll be tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you all soon at the Gamer's Grotto. Take it easy and have a wonderful day.